This is a quick demo, as always, for MonetaPro. This is jumping into the actual software. Before I begin, a lot of things, still making some improvements on the graphics, the look and feel. You'll see some inconsistencies as I go through in some of the color schemes. However, at a minimum, this is going to give you a really good overview of sort of how the software works, how easy it is, and how functional at an enterprise level. And to begin, what makes MonetaPro relatively unique at a top level is it's not a single user sign-on. And what that means is, unlike eBay that has a single sign-on, MonetaPro actually is set up with corporate hierarchies. Now, this is very important. If you're the CFO of a company like a health company or Ford, Caterpillar, American Airlines, it doesn't matter, and you've got a division manager in Iowa who's got a department down in Des Moines or Nebraska, you cannot allow every single person to have their own sign-on. You need to have visibility of what's going on in that division, what's in that department, what rights and authorities that person has, what can they do within the system. And MonetaPro not only has this hierarchy of control, rights, authorities, the ability to move credits around, it's all through an admin function that I'll show you towards the end. At the beginning, I just want to show you the simplicity of how it works. Unlike a lot of other systems, if you want to actually sell something in MonetaPro, how does it work? Well, again, let me back up. Metro Health, this is a demo company. The way MonetaPro is built is every company can upload their own logo, their own picture here. They can create their own homepage with their own featured items. All of that is easily done through an admin screen where you can manage the headers, designs, menus, anything you want can be controlled. So that's just on the look and feel. Again, these buttons will actually be buy and sell. Here's the learning curve to get started to use MonetaPro. This is the difficulty. I want to sell something. This will say transfer, add product, and you fill out a form. So in case you missed it, this will be sell, add product, fill out a form. If you're not sure how it sells or how to work, you can click. And all of this, again, text and everything's being updated. We'll simplify it down. We're going to create a little video right here that'll be a 30 or 60-second video. But again, the learning curve, transfer, add product, fill out a form. And it's not just a traditional basic form, it's an enterprise form, meaning we force people into what's the industry and category the asset is in, what's a code or SKU number internally, what's the item or model number, a description, full description, detailed information, is it units, prices, hours, quantity, what's the condition of the asset, new, used, refurbished, who is the owner, is there different departments or divisions that may own the asset, is the asset located at the same as the business unit owner, how do I want to get paid, again, critical component. We talked specifically about G-Bucks, the general business usage credit, which is the credit system. However, with MonetaPro, you can actually also take cash, credit card, or debit card. So it is a full-on payment solution, a full-on closed network, closed payment. But the credits are mostly what we talk about for the corporate trade. You can do all cash. Does it require trade approval? Again, enterprise level, not everything can be done by managers. Do you want to escrow it? Do you want to split it, portions, escrow cash? Is it taxable? Scrolling down through here, does it require customs? Do you want to publish the item? Yes or no? You can pull things in and out of the database based on whether or not you want to sell it at that particular time of the year. Do you want to publish the item? And then towards the end, you can actually upload your media, and then we're adding a video if somebody wants to upload a video file. Again, this is going to be a little bit of an extensive demo, but at a top line, very simple. Transfer, add product, fill out a form. Once your products are in, again, you can update them. What you get, all of the columns are laid out sequentially in terms of a psychology. And what I mean by that, this is a great example. These are the items we have listed. So if you're a computer company, you don't want to be scrolling down, reading items, trying to find the item you're looking for. You recognize it. So the very first column actually is the picture. The second one is the quantity, the date posted, the SKU number, and then the item name. If you need to change the item, you click. If you need to change the price, if you need to change the quantity, anything is easily done there. You can actually also go in, delete it. This shows you whether or not your item is published to the database, the settlement options you're willing to accept. Is it a special? What's the cost per unit? And do you want to delete it? You also within here have your sell history. So these are the items you sold. And again, different sequence of orders. What's first here is a purchase order. If you're going to see what you sold, it's probably to find out information about the purchase order. Was it paid? Was it completed? Who do you send to? What picture was it? What was the item again? Who was the partner you sold it to? What's the item? What was the price per unit, the date sold, quantity, and total cost? Again, so you've got everything there. The PO, when this pops up, this purchase order can not only be printed, you'll notice the data fields in here. This is what we're writing out to the blockchain. And within there, let me move it down so it fits in full screen. You've got print order. Some people like printing out their invoices. Some companies require paper or manual. So we made it very simple, but the data elements here are also what's going to be written into the, excuse me, the blockchain for the companies to prove transfer of ownership. So that's the sell side. What about the buy side? Even easier. The buy side says, what am I looking for? Well, I need to search. I've got multiple ways to search within MonetaPro. Top industries on the left-hand side, skyscraper industries within the middle. I can search industry, category. I've got a full-on advanced search where I can look for companies, categories, search by area code, item, name, description. I mean, the built-in search engine is relatively extensive. Let's go back and go simple. Let's say you're a company, you're expanding your mission, and you need computers. Well, the normal computer system, the normal ERP resource planning is, let me get a budget, let me get my vendors, let me figure out the cost, negotiate. MonetaPro is a little simple. Computers, here's my breakdown. What am I looking for? I need some desktops. Well, there's 5 people selling desktops. If there's nobody selling an item, I don't want to waste my time going there. But here I see 5 people selling desktops. Again, pictures are first. I like that desktop. That's an HP Pavilion. It's telling me it's available in GBuck credits. The guy's got $100,000 inventory that he can sell. He's got 200 units. And again, a lot of things I can do here. I know it's a special, means he wants to get rid of it. If I click on the item, takes me out to the product description page. This is the company selling it. Here's the product, seller information, quantity, up to 3 pictures, a video if he had one. I could put the quantity in and go right into my buy screen. If I wanted more information, whether I wanted to click on the company here or back in here, I can actually click on the location of that particular item. And now what I see is everything that particular seller has for sale. And again, I'm going to spend a moment here. If you are a purchasing manager, you usually purchase in 2 ways. One, you say, I've got an item. I want to buy that particular item. I want that computer. That's all I want. And if so, you can mark that as what's called an item. And again, the screen tells you, click to add to my items, find this under buy. But you might have a partner, and a partner is somebody you buy a lot of assets from, or you might be in a purchasing situation where you don't need just a computer, you need desks and chairs and monitors, and you'd rather buy everything at one location. And let's say this guy had everything you wanted, desks, chairs, computers, so you make him a partner, and you just click to add him to a partner. Now the difference is when you go up here to buy, if you click on my items, this is either a shopping cart of the items you've tagged, these are all the single items you want, or even more importantly, if you've actually bought the item. Going across here, the date of your last order, your purchase order, and your total cost and quantity are all recorded for you on a consistent ongoing basis. So if you're somebody like a hotel group constantly buying toilet paper, you don't have to go out to an ERP screen. You can come directly here, click, buy. It's just a consistent, repurposed, repurchasing buying screen as long as that individual has the assets out there that you want. Again, last purchase order, the total cost of your order, everything's confined for you in one simple purchasing screen. Past there, let's go back to buy. Well, the difference with the items and the partner is we click on my partners. Now here's a list of my partners that I have out there. And if my partner only has 1 item and another guy's got 10, I know he's got 10 items listed. I can actually click, takes me directly there and shows me all of the items my partner has listed. So again, as a purchasing screen, this actually works in a very efficient item. And then what we did with new items was we said, rather than putting new items through the whole system, new items are only going to show if your partners have any new items listed. And again, so a lot of things that are there, but very simple: sell, buy, home, search. Everything's there. Let's go back to admin for a moment, see if we can finish up on a couple admin things. Again, the example with the hierarchy, you've got divisions, departments, adding members. This is a full-on rights management screen. Under admin, I can actually add a trading unit, which is a department or a division, or I can add a specific user. If I click add user, pops up all the CFO or whoever's in control of the system at the admin fills out this little bit of information. What role does the person has? Is he an owner or a user? Which department is he assigned to within your company? And what rights can he do? Search, add, buy, sell. Can he add users or can he add departments underneath them? And the minute you submit this, that individual employee gets an email, and that employee then goes back in and registers, but he can only do what you've authorized him to do within the systems. If he tries to buy products, a screen will pop up and says, you're not authorized to buy, contact your manager. So all of the rights are there. If I want to actually manage any of my users, we call them users throughout the system. Here's a full listing. And again, the username, I can click, takes me directly to that individual where I can change their information. If I've changed managers, if they've moved, if I need to change their rights and authorities, instantly changeable. Under there, also under manage users, I can go directly to their department, see what they have listed. We should probably put numbers out here. Maybe that'll be an improvement, but I can click on an item, click on a department, and now I see whatever that department has listed. Again, when I was talking about the eBay type systems, there's no visibility within a single user sign-on. Corporations have to have this level of visibility to click and see what items are listed in what particular departments and divisions throughout their organization. And at any point, if you need to edit somebody, again, you can change their information, change their rights and authorities. So full-on admin screen, manage industries, you can add users, change your personal information. We also have the manage my account section. Now this one, to spend just a little bit of time, again, Big Bamboo is the potential division in here, but MonetaPro works on what we call credits, general business usage credits. And what you see up here is my GBuck buying power is 2,150,000. The balance is 1,900,000. That means I've actually allocated or spent some out. So let's take a look in here. This is a little different department. These are different numbers, but the GBuck balance is 1,900,000. That means this particular business unit has $1,900,000 worth of account balances that he can go spend. He has allocated 2.9 million down to his divisions and departments. That's what this is showing. So think of these like internal purchasing credits. This manager can go in and say, let's take a look here. This department has 4,000, but he's also got 4 departments underneath him. That's what that means. If I click on the actual area, now the manager can go in and say, oh, well, this guy is in a buying pattern. I need to assign $250,000 worth of credits to him. And you can instantly go in, assign those credits, update, and all the account balances just changed. The allocations went down. The allocation out went up to 3.2. My balance went to 1.6. This guy, when he signs in now, has $250,000 worth of credit in his account. When he signs in, he not only can keep that, he can assign it down to his departments underneath him, or as a manager above him, I can actually go in and assign credits directly down as well. The reason this is important is, again, looking at our hierarchy, let's go back to our division department here. The way companies are set up is this division manager might be the sales department. He's going to sell the assets and accumulate credits. The purchasing manager is way over here. So this guy has credits, but he's not authorized to buy anything. So you need to be able to go in and move your purchasing credits from one department or division to another. And MonetaPro allows the CFO or the manager to move those credits around within the full account management screen. So that's what this is showing. The other thing not going to spend much time on, but what's called AIB, Allocated Inventory Balance. And AIB is basically the total amount of credits that we as a system MonetaPro would allow somebody to do. So if a company like Caterpillar is doing $10 billion a year, we would probably authorize them for 10% of that or up to $1 billion worth of trade. So they're public, their allocated AIB from the company, from MonetaPro, would be a certain amount. But then that particular company can go in and set what's available to the public. So what that means is you might have somebody that at the beginning of the year, let's say it's a car company like Ford, the first 3 quarters, they may not want to do much in credits because they're trying to sell them all for cash. So their public AIB might be set at 0, which means they have 0 inventory on the credit side. You can still buy for cash. But then moving through the year, they can actually change those numbers, make things available to the public, and set those limits that would preclude somebody from buying more. I think you guys get the idea. Basically, this allows a lot of flexibility within the organization to move these AIB limits around and move the credits around. All right, so that's it from a top level. Again, there's more things it does. There's some report systems that are coming within the admin screen. Again, you can manage the headers, you can manage the design, you can actually manage some of the trade unit fees at a global level. I'm signed in right now, global admin, which means at the global admin, we can set the transaction fees, the actual cash transaction fees we as a company get paid. We can set it down at every department or division level at the admin to control that. So hopefully that gives you a little flavor. Again, some of the color schemes are going to be changed. Some of the text and fonts will be updated. But again, that's the complexity of MonetaPro. I get asked a lot, well, what makes this different? Why don't companies just do it on their own? How can you simplify a very complex trading system that's company to company trading? And I think we've done that. It's basically sell, add product, buy, search, organize, and all of the histories are written, both the buy history and the sell history. And again, this buy history and this purchase order number is what we're going to utilize the blockchain for, just to simply write those PO invoices out to the private blockchain to allow the companies to have proof of audit and transfer of all of these assets. Again, that's MonetaPro. Hopefully you enjoy it. We look forward to hearing from you. Stephen Meade, website again, monetapro.io.